Alright, this is part 2, because I went off subject in my previous video. I was trying to make a video about the belief I have that nationalism does not work in the face of public health crisis, in the face of unforeseen consequences. One thing I think about from SARS to coronavirus is the fact that they're still using the little hand thermometers. They might even be basically the same model from 2003 to 2020. They should have like machines. You can put them in front of a building so people can walk through it, and then you inside the building can see on the screen whether or not they're sick or not. They should have like, you know, like a camera on it and stuff, like kind of like those metal detectors. And one thing I think about with all this war is that we haven't even really had a discussion about these things, about what a global pandemic really would look like, and you know, steps that maybe must be taken, because these people, you know, their diet is really disgusting. You know what I mean? They're really ungodly people in every way. It's disgusting. But these things, I don't think Corona will come a pandemic. I'm at the point I don't believe that. I think it could get bad for a lot of people. I'm trying to make the point to y'all that this is a warning. Now, in the previous video, I went off subject. What I was going to say is that when you compare SARS, the China of 2003, the Asia of 2003 with the Asia of now, I think it's like 3 times the amount of tourists, 3 times the amount of people going in and out of there. You see my point? These are issues that, that's a simple example of how time has gone by. It's not the same China. You can't use the same technology, the same stuff to deal with it. It's amazing to me they built that hospital. That just tells me that it's way worse than they're saying. Way worse. That's what that said to me. They built that thing in days. The amount of money they spent on that must be by order of magnitude. But it was just that serious. Obviously, to have the necessity of it was so important. The necessity of it demanded it. How will nationalism deal with this? How will nationalism deal with peak oil? How will nationalism deal with climate change out of control? Sometimes I think these conservatives, these boomers and all this, they've got a mentality of America in the 50s. And we're dealing with new challenges that demand new methods. And conservatives are not willing to budge. They're not willing to even face these issues. They're really not. Like, I met one guy a while back, and he was like, you know, when climate change gets bad, I'll be gone or whatever. I don't believe that. I think it's going to get a lot worse in our lifetime. I don't believe this 50 years thing. I don't, not at all. 70 degrees in February. I don't believe that stuff at all. Not at all. We're looking at it every day, getting worse. But I thank God my family didn't think like that about me, because they don't care what happened 50 years from now, because I wouldn't be alive. Yeah, thank God they didn't think like that. It's just that's when I look at conservatives, that's what I realize more than ever, is that you're just dealing with basically selfish people in every way. They don't care about the future. They don't care about what the future will look like. They don't care about their future lineage. They don't. Step on the pedal. They don't care. It is so tragic. You know, I think that we should be way further along. I think people should realize that you've had pandemics in the past. That's a part of, even if you had a society where everybody was eating healthy and you had a more of a regional government or whatever, you would still have these issues. Nationalism isolates us, and it makes these things much more dangerous because you have the political game going on with it. I would even almost say that is going to cause more people to die. You know, that ideology of, we'll just shut the borders and they can all die. I mean, I think that's not what America was supposed to be about. I think that the Trump presidency, the Trump psychology is a failure in American foreign policy. I don't think that Trump's foreign policy is what America was supposed to be by the founders, whatever you want to call it. I really don't. He got the racism down, but he really has nothing else down. And I think that the Trump philosophy, like I said, it really represents a failure in American diplomacy. I really do. That's what I'm left. It's just a giant failure. Just telling everybody else to screw off. And I don't agree with that. I don't think that's what Jimmy Carter or Nixon or all this shit they did. I don't think that's what they were really talking about, what they were fighting for. That's what makes me really believe that this climate change or whatever is coming is really bad. For them to just come out and openly say to you, we get special favors in foreign countries all the time, and openly tell you about, openly telling other foreign officials we need to take this person out. That stuff makes me think that whatever's in the pipes, whatever's coming is really bad. And they just don't care anymore. You know? It's like the movie Dark Blue. Cop was doing all this dirty shit. And at the end, you had the Rodney King riots. It was so bad, they were like, hey, let him go. You know what I mean? Let that cop go. But we've got to deal with these protests. We got to deal with these riots. We got to stop this shit. They weren't thinking about him no more. And that's what I think with Trump, that if something really bad is down the pipes, a major pandemic, a major recession, whatever, that the shit Trump is doing and has been doing and has been advocating will pale in comparison. That's something I think about. So this pandemic, as I said before, this may peter out. Hopefully it does. Hopefully there isn't a massive loss of life. Hopefully it doesn't mutate. As I've talked about many, many, many times before, this thing could mutate. That could happen. That's what they do. They mutate. They change. I've said that before, many times before. Just because the flu is more dangerous now, that's irrelevant. That's kind of irrelevant, isn't it? The Ebola thing. Here we had this disease that was hiding in the eyeball of somebody. So you couldn't get it. People don't even realize what that meant. This is a new era in disease prevention. You know, I said this before as well, that I'm concerned that Americans have become complacent, that, let's come up with a vaccine and we're all protected. No, you need to have sense to know that this could get really bad. I was saying before that I was hoping, I was going to wait until they had an index case in North Carolina before I started my preps. I'm there already. I got a bottle of hand sanitizer in my backpack. The one that stays in the car, I got that. I ain't bringing it back in here. I got wipes in there. I got a big can of Lysol, but I'll go back out. I'm going to take it out to the car. Big bottle of wipes. Yeah, this is pretty serious. We're there. I'm there already. I've already started I got a mask in there. I've already started. I just don't trust this fool to make the right decisions I don't trust Trump to make the right decisions at all. I don't think Trump cares. I don't think he has the assiduity to do the right thing. I don't think he has sense to do the right thing. I really don't. I fear this. I think this may be one of the biggest mistakes. For some reason, I have this feeling that he's going to make one of the biggest mistakes of his administration. And you know what? Republicans will still protect him. They'll still protect. This is what I mean when I talk about the Nazis, the comparison of the Nazis with Trump. It's not that it's anything he's done. Like these people talking about the camps and all that. Yeah, they're bad. I don't do that. I don't do that because I just don't do that. That's trying to compare him. I'm comparing the psychology of no matter what Trump does, it's the Democrats' fault. It's the Democrats' fault, and defending him over Obama. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? That is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that. That's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's a cult of personality. Some people will say it's because of their career or whatever, but the fact it's full of lies, the fact that he's put lives in danger, they don't even care about it, is terrifying. It's woefully terrifying. And it should scare anybody out here that's paying attention. Because that's bad. That's that Nazi stuff. That's how all that came about. Was the dear leader and stuff like that. You know, Obama didn't have that. I don't remember Obama having that. I mean, you had a lot of black folks that liked him and young people, but as far as people in the government, Obama had a lot of hate. Obama got a lot of hate, whether you like him or not. I remember that. I don't think he had that. I think that I always tell you guys about the backlash. I think you got a backlash that Republicans aren't going to be fair to him, so we're going to be nasty because the system is going to be fair. I think you had that. I think you have a lot of people in this country who feel like you have elements within the government that are not reasonable, that are not listening to the young people, that are not listening to a modernized government and organized society, so you have a backlash. But that wasn't a cult of personality, because of a lot of us that called Obama out. Like Chris Hedges, I think he sued Obama. Him and Cornel West sued Obama. So I can tell you that people on the left did not just, was not duck walking. They did not 180 for Obama. You had a lot of little people who, put their head down. But I'd say that as far as our liberal progressive intelligentsia, they held Obama to task. So understand that. With Trump, I don't see that from many conservatives. I don't. Other than they'll be like, well, he made a mistake here. That I don't hear any conservatives really calling him to task for the shit he does on a regular basis. I just don't. And that's dangerous. I just think that Trump is not mentally fit to do this. He's not mentally fit to be president. He's not mentally fit to deal with what we're facing, what could possibly come. And then we're at war with all these people at the same time. We're not on what I'm saying to you is America is not on a level ground right now. We're not. And Trump has caused all this suspicion within NATO. A lot of countries don't follow America anymore. And rightfully so, I may say. A lot of countries are not going to follow America. I think America has lost the basic respect. That's gone. Yeah, that's gone, man. That's I can say. And so, in the background of this threatening to have diplomats removed and threatening Iran and taking out a general and all this stuff going on, and now you have possible pandemic, and they got a bird flu coming out too. This could be really bad. This could be bad anyway. That's why I'm saying to you that even though this may fade out or whatever, we should pay attention because of the tenuous position America is taking right now. We're on the edge of a knife. We're at war with like 4 countries at the same time. I let you guys go. Just something to think about. Peace.